Good evening and welcome to Series 3.
Oh, dickhead.
Yes, I love it. Series 3, I don't know what episode it is because it's
Episode 10.
that I can't see. Episode 10. As if we're fucking 10 episodes into this series already. Got plenty of bits to talk about from obviously the weekend. We've got the usual shite, predictions, polls and bitters and all that in between. But before we do, let's run the intro VT that I completely forgot to get prepped.
Hi, this is Don Matteo, and you are listening to the Orta Know Better podcast. Let's do this.
Excuse me. Yes, good evening. You may notice that there is only a threesome of Leeds United fans tonight rather than the usual foursome, almost an orgy. But yeah, we're a bit light on our feet. We've got people doing stuff and that. So you got the best of us here, which is all you need, really. I'm joined by the I don't even know how to say it. I don't know what he is. The little guy down there. Jay, how are you doing? All right.
I'm all right, mate. Are you okay there? You look like you were struggling for a second.
Do you know what? I was trying to be as kind without being kind.
I see. Well, you didn't do a bad job for you.
I know. I didn't do too bad. So I've just moved my screen. I realised I was looking at my spare screen up there. So to everybody else, I was looking like that, but I need to be looking there. And then by Boy Genius himself, Mr. Jimmy Neutron. How are you?
Thank you very much. Yes, I'm well.
Good.
Thank you very
Pleased
much.
to hear it. Yeah. So we'll go straight into things. Really, there's not a lot to talk about until we get into things. Anyway, we'll start with Gilly's part of the show, the usual part of the show, and discuss this week's predictions and see where we're all standing and everything. And I think he's handed that over to the trusted Smarty tonight, if I'm right. I don't know. Is that right?
Yes, indeed. I'm just quickly finding it on my phone before I forget. I don't want to be caught short now, do we? Of course. It's quite brief and very quick this week. There's only two people scored any points. Jason has scored 1 point right at the bottom of the league because he went with a 2-0 win to Palace. And the 5 points goes to Alison, one of our OKB listeners. She's been with us right from the start, bless her. She went 2-1 Palace, so she got 5 points.
Back when we were all in the dumps and yeah, she's been there from day dot, and she's Alison. She deserves the points, I'd say.
Absolutely. So that puts the fans at the top of the predictions league with 12 points. Myself and James in second consecutively with 7 points apiece. Luke, you're in fourth place. Gilly, Carl in fifth and sixth. Stats 7th. And then it just goes to shit all the way down to Big Lou and Scott, who are on -3 and -2. So
cool. And we can show those quickly.
Yeah.
You've got those there, and then you can see the predictions from this week as well. So yeah,
me
well done.
and Jay haven't actually scored any points since for 2 weeks, have we?
We're all doing pretty shit, let's be honest. I
don't think any of us expected Leeds to be doing so shit, did we? So that's reflected in the predictions.
This is true.
James, why are you so negative? We've only just started. Can you just save it?
Don't start with me about fucking negativity after having seen that on Sunday, please.
Right, let's get into that actually, because I don't think we were actually that fucking bad until the second half. I thought we were. Let's get into Palace. Let's fucking do it. Let's go straight seamlessly from the fucking prediction straight into that game. So
we might as well start. We might as well start with this if we're going with Jay.
Orta Know Better with Rachel Adedeji.
That's for later on, mate. That's for later on.
We might as well get it off your chest, mate.
We'll just do it every time you're going to speak tonight. I
Fair enough. It might work. To be fair, I'm not happy about it.
Come on then, Jay. Tell me why do you think? Why are you not so? Why?
Pardon?
Looks like you're filming it with a potato.
What are you talking about? I'm using the GoPro.
Really?
It's all good.
Really like
You're HD and shit, and you look like you've licked your screen or something.
Well, it might just be because I didn't manage to move the router as close as I normally do, so it might be struggling for bandwidth a little. So,
You look like your cat's marked its fucking territory on your screen.
Mate, I can live with that. I've looked worse. Yeah, I mean, I went down to the Palace game with Carl. We got off to a brilliant start because he was supposed to be driving, but somehow managed to not know that his MOT had expired months ago and realised this the day before the game. So I was well happy from the start.
throwing him straight under bus live on YouTube as well.
Hey, listen, I'm sure he's taking care of it all now. He's on it, he's Carl. But yeah, so it were a long day. It was a long day, and then to get down there, bump into fucking Luke, and watch that. I'm just, it was one of those games where you go there full of optimism and you think, finally, we need to start turning this round now. We've got a proper good chance today. And that first sort of half hour, most of the first half, it looked like that was what were happening, and it were fucking brilliant. It were ace. Everyone were in good spirits. And then that first goal went in, and it just went downhill from there, didn't it? It never got any better from that point. We just seemed to lose everything that we'd been able to do well, and we couldn't do anything after that. There's some sort of issue where the players seem to lack any sort of composure when the back's against the wall at the moment. You see the ball come in, and they just whack it. It whacks the foot, or they swing at it, or there's no passes being picked, no time being taken. It's times like that, I guess, when you could sort of see that we might be missing that little bit of sort of calmness a Click or a Forshaw can bring. But
James, you're not suggesting that Forshaw or Click should start over Adams or Rocker, should?
I'm not, no. I'm saying when the game's turned in that way and you can't get your bearings, you can't catch a minute, sometimes you need to maybe think about bringing somebody on who can facilitate that. I'm not saying start with them. I would always pick the guys that we've got, but when the game's not going your way or it's turned, I think you've got to look at different options sometimes.
So if we'd gone in, I mean, we probably should have gone in at half time. I would say 2-0, 3-0 up. Their goal was very, very soft. We had enough chances to score 2 or 3. So based on that, what you're telling me, what your thoughts are, you've based that, your assessment of that game on the result, which is fair enough. We got beat 2-1. That's the only statistic that matters, whether we played them off the park for the best part 45 minutes or not. It's irrespective. But Smart, how did it look on telly? I mean, we did we look as it felt to me in the ground that we were in control for the majority, if not all, of the first half until they scored that late equaliser.
Yeah, I'd agree. Even for maybe some time during the I don't think it was totally lost until the second half, if I'm totally honest. I think once they equalised, when did they score? Was it about the 21st
half?
30th minute or something like that? I can't remember.
Was it that early in the first half, was it?
We scored in 10 and they were about 15 minutes after, weren't they? I can't remember. I should do really, but it's something like that. Anyway, whatever. Yeah, I mean, we were forcing errors on them. We were pressing high. We were, and the press was working really, really well. They were making mistakes. The keeper were booting it out left, right, and centre. They weren't composed at all. And the defending for their goal were just, someone's lost a man. I can't remember if it were Cooper or whether it were Christensen. One of them has just completely lost a man. It's bounced up off the floor and gone into frigging goal. I mean, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. And then from them,
that's the difference in this league, isn't it? We got away with that probably and still scraped to winning the championship, a few years ago with a similar performance. And the difference is teams are far more clinical, and we just can't afford not to be scoring 2 or 3 goals if we get 2 or 3 good chances.
Well, that's it.
Yeah, you're right. It was the 24th minute. I was a lot more pissed than I thought I was, because I thought that was it. I thought it was literally on the half-time whistle.
Oh God. I mean, we went into. I went in. I went in. I was watching whilst they went in. Should I say? And I thought, yeah, it's they're well up for it. You know, this should be a good game. I didn't expect us then to kind of fall like a fucking deck chair in the second half and us be chasing the game. You know, inviting pressure onto ourselves. Then us starting to make sloppy passing. That happened a lot. You know, the pressing wasn't as good. They started, obviously, their tails were up. They just equalised and stuff. A couple of shady substitutions. I agree with Jay, you know, to show up probably the centre of the park or to do something to kind of get a little bit of structure, kind of get a little bit more composure in. Bamford blowing out of his arse, obviously had to come off for Somerville, which I think were a decent substitution. I'd like to see more of Somerville. But I think when we're in that situation and we're kind of, you know, under the cosh a little bit, you need more composure. You need to try and get more control of the game, which we didn't, and we just it were like going back to last season, you know, just kind of hanging on for dear life. And we're 8, 9, 10 games into the season. We shouldn't be in that position now. At this point, you know, we shouldn't be really thinking, oh fucking hell, we need to try and stay in this. We need to try and do what we can. It's fucking we're 10 games in.
Yeah,
there is a flip side to it.
Go on, sorry.
Sorry, I'm just going to say there is a flip side to it. I don't think we did play as badly as what a lot of people will say. You know, it definitely ain't the worst performance under Marsh. You know, not by a long shot. There is obviously other, you know, contributing factors as we've had a very disrupted start to the season. We've not played properly, but I would expect to have got more points out of the last few games that we've had. You know, given we've played Palace, Everton, you know, fucking Aston Villa. You know,
it's a fair assessment, and look, we'd all expect to. We've had in terms of the Premier League and the teams in it, we've had a relatively good run of games, and we should have probably been picking up more points. But when you in contrast to that, we've not played badly in any of them. We've not played.
He just can't finish his dinner.
We've not played badly.
If Bamford had put a few away, if Bamford had managed to put a couple of his shots away, would have been 3-0 going in at half time. You know, Bamford is an issue. Yes, we need to get him match fit, but he's not firing on all cylinders, so he's going to be wasteful. He's not going to take his opportunities, and just that is not good for the team. You know, it's demoralising for the team as well. You know, him being in good positions to score and not bagging like you'd think he probably would do 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
But then again, we're not basing it on last season. We're basing it on the fucking 2021 season, aren't we? So
so just a couple of things that you mentioned there on Bamford. Then we know he's not 100%. Marsh has openly said that. He said he might never even get back to 100% with this injury. What? Why? We're still really. Do we still need to rely on him, or do? And the other question is to you, Jay. Should we still be relying on him first of all after Rodrigo's start at the start of the season? But also, we know how Bielsa managed players, and he made sure they were fully fit. He would never play somebody who wasn't fully fit unless he really, really had to. And they'd get time with the 21s, and they'd get time, you know, in the 80. Well, whatever. They'd get plenty of game time before even coming back, and they'd be brought back. They'd be brought back progressively. Does Paddy Bamford need that? And if he can't get back to 100%, do we need to draw a line and say, look, you're on the bench, mate, and if you can only manage 30 minutes at full pace, 40 minutes, you're the backup now. You know, where do you stand on the whole Bamford thing?
I think he's still got enough in the bank to be the first choice guy when he's available, but
even at 75, 80%, you believe that?
I think so, yeah. But you can only carry a guy for so long as well. So if Rodrigo had continued scoring and not got injured and stuff, then I think he'd still be first choice. You won't drop him if you were getting the goals. You won't just automatically put Paddy in, but because he wasn't, or he wasn't there for some of it, then Paddy gets his chance.
I think it was unfortunate he picked that injury up. You know, was injured,
really bad time
because he was in some real good form. But yeah, I mean, how would you? I'm probably not asking the best person in the world because none of us are football managers. But how would you manage it, given we know what we know and how wasteful he's been? He's almost missing that match fitness, that eye for goal. That he would have buried that 9 times out of 10. That chance he had in the first half.
Yeah, I think he just needs gradually reintroducing. I don't think throwing him back in the deep end is helping at the moment. I'm not sure the best way to do it. Like you say, none of us are managers, but I think I'd be tempted almost to start with somebody else most games and sort of bring him on around sort of 60 minutes for a couple of matches and get him back up to speed that way before throwing him in from the start. I mean, it puts all the responsibility on his shoulders when he starts as well. And if by some miracle we could get into a position where we're actually leading a game come the 60th minute, then he could come on with even less pressure on him and just do his own thing and get up to speed, you know. Yeah. I don't think we can rely on him like we used to.
No, I completely agree. What do you make of the whole situation with him, Smart? Do you think we should be conserving him? I mean, we didn't really have a massive choice at the weekend based on experienced players and Sinister being banned. Would you have started with that lineup? Do you think? I think we all said we'd probably started with that lineup on paper, didn't we, before the game? So I mean, but knowing what we know now, Smart, would you look at changing that and moving that around for Arsenal?
I think, you know, given the fact that Sinisterra weren't available, you know, it was one of them. I still do not like Rodrigo in that 10 position. When he sits behind Bamford, do not like it. I'm not a fan of it at all. If it were up to me and we had a fully available squad, which we do this weekend, I'd start Rod. And like Jay's said, you know, potentially bringing him on with, you know, maybe 30 minutes to go. I would rather start an informed player than start a not informed player who is potentially going to demoralise the rest of the chuffing squad or the team on that day when he's missing chances left, right, and centre. For me, Rodrigo is playing better and offers more than Bamford at the minute. However, I do still like Bamford. You know, I'm not taking that away from him, but we need to make a decision this weekend as to, right, what can we do to get our tails up as a squad, as a team, to impact the game as positively as we can, and not have someone that's out of form trying to bag because it just ain't going to happen. So yeah, I'd have Rodrigo up from me.
I had this conversation with a couple of my mates when I was travelling back from London. I was on about, and I know we're going to come on to Arsenal, so I don't want to get too into it. But my question was, do we this weekend swap Bamford with a Gnonto or a Joseph or a Sonny Perkins? And, you know, we're not expected to beat Arsenal in the form they're in. It's almost, I hate the term free hit, but it's almost a free hit. Why not give one of these youngsters a chance that's been flying in the 21s? Let's be honest, they've been flying. Perkins has scored in his last 11, 12 games or something stupid. Apart from, he didn't score yesterday. They won 1-0 and Gnonto got the goal. But before that, he'd scored for England and the 21s in sort of every game and assisted as well. So yeah, I suppose we can come on to that in a bit, but do we almost give Bamford the chance to get a bit of confidence back, playing with the 21s, maybe bag a couple, you know, give a bit of leadership experience, and then swap him with a Perkins who's massively in form, or a Gnonto or Joseph, any one of those three really. I tell you what, have a think on it, and we'll come back to it when we talk about Arsenal.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Have you thought? You don't need that long. You're.
Who, me?
You don't need. Yeah.
No, I'm ready to go now. No, I'm ready to go now.
I thought with his head, it might take him longer to get it to that part of his brain to actually. I'll give him 10 minutes.
No, I like what you're thinking. I like where you're going with it. But for me, you play your best squad and you get minutes into your best team, your best available team. As much as I'd love to see Joffrey do more and bring Perkins in and stuff like that, for me, you start with your best available squad. You know, and we need to start picking up momentum now. Like you said, there is the free hit sort of surround around this.
They're massive form. They're the only team that's going to challenge City this season for me.
Yeah, of course. But we need to test them, and we need to put our best team against them and kind of gauge where we are. Put minutes into some legs. Bring Paddy on maybe with half an hour to go. You know, look to involve Perkins potentially against a lesser team. But I'm still not sold on that really. He's not even been introduced off the bench yet. He's not even made his debut, whereas someone like Joffrey has. So,
what do you make of this Joffrey situation? Is it does Marsh just not rate him? Because even last season when Marsh came in, he chose Greenwood over Joffrey a couple of times, didn't he?
Attitude? I mean, they've openly said in interviews and stuff and post-match press conferences and stuff that Somerville is at the minute is leading the way with form and how he's training and stuff like that. But some players don't train that well but play better. You know, it's everyone knows that. So, you know, for someone like Joffrey, who's an absolute unreal talent, to not have him involved at any point, really, so far, is a criminal in my opinion. He impacted the game so positively so many times last season.
Yeah.
You know, why not do the same this season when you've got Paddy Bamford, who's playing quite poorly? You know,
It's a different type of player, though, isn't he?
Yeah, true. Yeah, but you know, Paddy's obviously one of them sort of players who will hold the ball up and you know, he pulls players here every day. His positional sense and his movement's fantastic. But when you've got Joffrey, who's absolutely fearless, who's willing to drive the ball into those spaces and look for options running off him or past him, in them sort of scenarios when clearly the Bamford way isn't working, that's a different tact, and that we don't seem to be seeing anyone, Jesse Marsh making any sort of, you know, tactical we haven't seen him make any changes, have we? We haven't seen him make any tactical changes, or there's no plan B. There doesn't seem to be a plan B.
No, there's none of that. There's none of that.
I quite like this idea for Bremner's goal, starting with Rod up top and Joffrey at 10. I think Joffrey we signed as a striker. We know he's clinical. We know he can play. He's just a bit too slight to lead the line, and you know, he's too little to be a lone striker. Why not have a look at him at 10? We've not seen him in that at all, but that's probably because we've now bought a 10 in Aronson.
So where did you play Aronson then? If you're playing Jockey,
well, yeah, exactly. Maybe
you've got Aronson, Sinisterra, or Harrison that are playing behind them, arguably in decent form.
Yeah.
Where do you put them? You just drop them.
Well, yeah, no, it's tough. It's tough, but we need to do something different, and what it is, I don't know. But we need to have a little bit of a shock. We need something just needs to change, doesn't it? How would you rate that performance as a whole? Not just the result, not just the second half, but as a whole. What rating would you give that out of 10?
5.
6. I give it a 6. Below low end average, I think, and it's only because we played so well and so positively in the first 30 minutes.
Yeah, no, I'd agree. I don't think. I mean, I'm just looking at the player ratings. Everybody got 6s and 7s for Leeds. Even Somerville and Click, who came on, got 6s. There was nobody with a 5. So yeah, I mean, it's tough, isn't it? When you're playing well, you need to be you need to be grinding out these results, and you need to be there. If you look at the Everton game when we absolutely dominated them, we didn't pick the win up. You know, Southampton early on in the season when we should have beaten them, and we let them back into it. Yeah, we just need a bit of momentum to come from somewhere. For me,
I just want to see Nonto start just steamrolling people and running through them. To be honest with you, I think he'll cause chaos in some penalty areas.
I think he will, but I just think we've got to appreciate him. I mean, we can't have such massive high expectations on these lads. You know, there's some of them are still literally,
especially Nonto. I understand that people are excited about him. You know, just
I appreciate
that people were excited about Joffrey, but we've seen him play for Italian first team, who are a fantastic team. Who, you know, arguably you would say that they're better than the Leeds starting 11. And they're playing against fucking farmers from Hungary and stuff like that. You know, it's different when you're playing against Virgil van Dijk and all that sort of stuff at back. You know, in Premier League, it's faster. You know, it's more physical. It's a completely different game. So the prospect of Gnonto, I'm absolutely can't wait to see him in the flesh. However, I think we all just need to take a chill pill with that one because I can't really see anything being happening there, to be fair.
Good luck with that if he scores when he first plays.
I'll get my dick out, mate.
You look at the performance, and considering, you know, the prior history we've got to go in and playing in London, you look at the starting performance, we were all right, and I'd rather lose 2-1 to Palace than fucking 2-3-0 to Millwall anyway. So, you know what I mean?
God, yeah, damn right.
Anyway, the reason we lost.
We're in London. That's the fucking difference.
Yeah, I'll just put it down to the London curses back. That's it. Right then, let's move on to Smarty's favourite bit of the show, where we have a little bit of this.
Twitter poll results.
Fucking loves it, he does.
Twitter polls. Do you know what? I'll be honest, I really just couldn't be arsed this week. After such a shit weekend, it was just like, fucking hell, we're going to do a poll. Anyway, positive. Each week, we ask the listeners to choose the main subject for the pod via a Twitter poll. This week's options were: what's our best defensive lineup? Can Marsh turn this form around? Does Rodrigo start up top versus Arsenal? And some are strengthening naivety or just didn't do enough. Pigs in Ginnels with 11%. Rodrigo with 15%. Stupid Question, 22%. And Marsh in the Bud with 52%. So can Marsh just turn this form around, gentlemen? Does he have it in him?
You'd like to hope so, wouldn't you? But
I think so.
I said on Sunday that I'd lost faith in him that day. I was a bit, in a bad mood at the time.
Really?
But I'm not sure. I don't feel like I can say no, but I'm not convinced either. I'm really on the fence with it now. Whereas I have supported him since he came in. I said, give the guy a chance. Let's see what happens. He's done all right in other places, blah, blah, blah. But it's what I said on B&C was just basically it looks a lot of the time like there's no philosophy, there's no identity to the side, there's no plan. There's nothing that they're all working towards that you can see on the pitch there. I don't see a direction. I don't see a collective thought process. I don't see everyone buying into the same goal, trying to do the same thing. And that can only come down to the manager for me. And I don't know what the philosophy is supposed to be or what our identity is. There's just nothing there for me. It just, when we're playing well, it looks great. It all looks great. Like that first half hour looked fantastic. I was buzzing. I thought we were going to have a really good game. But we just cave in so easily. We fold. And we spend so long.
First half an hour.
But yeah,
but then we've got no identity and play with no philosophy. But what you've just said is that when it works, so there is a philosophy and an identity, but it's just not working, is what you're saying.
What I'm saying is, it looks like there's something there when we're doing well, obviously, but when we've got our backs to the wall, there's nothing there. It's like it all goes out the window. It's like the players forget anything that they've been told they're supposed to be doing. You can't see a visible plan in there. I don't know if that's him or the players, but he's got to take the book for it at the end of the day.
Did you not say 10 minutes ago that we should have been 2 or 3 up at half time?
No, I didn't say that.
Did you not agree with me when I said that?
I agreed, but I didn't say it.
Right, okay. So a team with so basically we've dropped points recently based on individual errors with Llorente and things. But we've also dropped points because we probably should have beaten Villa had we not had a red card. We were in charge then. I would completely disagree with pretty much everything you've just said then about not having an identity and a certain style and of how we look. It's just not working. It's not clicking. We have got a style. We've absolutely got our own style. We've got our own identity. And like you said, you said it yourself. When it does work, it absolutely works and it looks really good. However, it's not working. And I'd probably counter what I'm saying, what my own argument here, and saying what we don't have is an alternate identity or a plan B or a plan C. We just seem to be very.
Maybe I've contradicted myself a little, but what I mean is when we face adversity, when we go level or behind, anything like that's gone. You can't see any identity or any philosophy. All right, I get what you're saying. There is one, because otherwise when we're winning, it won't be working. But it goes out the window. That's got to stop with the coach at the end of the day. He's got to do something about that. I don't know if he can, because why would we have got progressively worse since the Chelsea game? We've just gone on a downward spiral. We haven't. The results. I think the pound currency is doing better than us, Luke.
The pound will be nearly as low as you soon.
Maybe I'll find a few then.
No, I think we have got an identity. I think we play some really, really good stuff at times. We've got some good players. I just don't think something's not working. When it works, it looks fantastic. What's not working is, like you say, when we go behind or when we're chasing the game. I don't know. Sometimes, personally, if Marsh leaves his substitutes too late, some are questionable. Luke Ayling's not going to win you a game 9 times out of 10. I'm bringing Luke Ayling on. I thought we managed, but on the flip side, I thought against Villa we managed the game really, really well and managed to see out a goalless draw against a decent, an average Villa side with some good players, and we managed to keep a clean sheet for 40, 43, 44 minutes of the game. So yeah, look,
you can't knock that.
I think we have got a lot to build on, and I mean, for me, it's just really frustrating when we've seen how well we can play at times, and then you jump on fucking Twitter or you jump on whatever, and you just see people calling for his head. Like, absolutely not. That's not going to solve anything. 11 games into a season when all they've been working on pre-season, and so far they brought Marsh's players in. Do you know what I mean? That would be. I think that would be suicide for us. I think we'd suffer a lot more. And I've seen I think it was fucking Jason suggest Rafa Bastard Benitez. I'm not even joking. Jason, if you're watching, please confirm that. Rafa Benitez. Christ. Let's get 11. Let's get 10 men behind the ball and then try and score from a fucking set piece. Even though we're shite at set pieces. No,
I really don't want to watch that.
Look. Exactly. So yeah, I mean, we've got to sort of take a step back sometimes for me and just actually understand that it is a project. He's been in charge now with his own squad for 5 or 6 months, maybe with his own players. We've just got to give him that little bit of time, and I think the results will start. Anybody who's played sport appreciates how difficult it is when you're losing to get a win. And once you get those points and that, it's just a case of following it up. So, yeah, look, I'm not worried at all. I think there's a lot. I've seen people sort of say we're relegation favourites and that. There's no chance we get relegated this season for me, and I'd still have a decent bet on that. So yeah. What do you make of it, James? Big James?
Big James.
Big cook, little cook.
The other week when obviously Forest weren't doing too well and they ran about sacking Steve Cooper, I thought that's a little bit premature. They're fresh into Premier League, they're finding their feet, all that sort of stuff. But a week later, people are banding around, sacking Marsh, and all of a sudden, that's the absolute right thing to do. No, it ain't the right thing to do. We've had a very disjointed season. He's still finding his feet. We've had one of his best players benched last week. Yes, we've fucked up in a few of results. However, we didn't lose to fucking Villa, etc. We still managed to get a point. Last season we'd have probably lost that game. So yeah, I agree that I would have expected, given the first few games of the season, we should have been in a better position now. However, we are still 14th. We do still have a game in hand. Time will tell. It's too early. It's too early to throw everyone under the bus now and just say.
Do you still think you get sacked before Christmas, James?
I don't know. Possibly. I think if things. Well, I've been one at most, vociferous about Marsh, from when he first took over. I've always said that, but it's different this season. But I think if he doesn't, I reckon if we don't get, who's his next games? We've got Arsenal, then we've got Leicester, Fulham. And we've got Fulham. If we don't start getting something out of them, I think, And then
I think we've got Bournemouth and then Spurs, is it? I think.
Yeah, we've got a couple of good teams. We've got Liverpool, not Liverpool. Oh no, we do have Liverpool. We've got Liverpool. We've got Liverpool away in there. We've got Spurs, like you said. So there are a couple of difficult games in there, but there are some you'd think 3 points or at least a point or something. So it's one of them.
Just 2 seconds. Stop playing, Luke. We have very little chance this season. Is that to stay up? Would you like a friendly bet? It sounds like somebody might call me out on my bet here. Bandit, if you'd like a bet, give it a shot.
No, it's too early to say, and time will tell. But I think if we don't start to pick up points in the next 5 or 6 games, then I think Well, I don't know what the board will do. Like you say, I don't think they'll sack him, but I think the fans will turn against him again. I don't think he'll win the fans over. It'll be very hostile at Ellen Road.
The thing is, we have 1 or 2 good results, and we know what it's like when the fans get behind the club and everybody's buzzing, and Twitter's even a nice place, and all the podcasts are a lot more positive that you watch and listen to, and it just sort of ignites everything. It only takes that one.
You mean there's other podcasts?
They are available, but we don't.
Podcasts are available.
But yeah, it's just look, we're in a bit of a rut. That's all. We're not fucking. If we'd have won at the weekend, and I know if you fucking had bollocks, you'd be your uncle and all that bollocks. But if we'd have won at the weekend, we'd have been 8th in the league. And we've been feeling like this.
No, we've all felt great after a win.
I mean, there is a lot of people that are very, very, very disjointed and very miserable. I haven't seen very many positive things about it at all. I mean, Jay would have literally had Marsh hung, drawn, and quartered at weekend if it were left up to him. 100%.
I was very upset.
You know, I think we still need to give it a little bit more time. It's been very up and down. You know, we've had fucking weeks without games, and
it's going to be awful again at Christmas. So until Christmas.
Exactly. So we've got to give it a little bit more time, I think, before everyone starts, abandoning ship.
Yeah, I mean, I said before I'm on the fence, like about whether he can do it or not, but I wouldn't even entertain sacking the manager unless we got to sort of March and we were really looking like we're in trouble. It might be worth a throw of the dice, but I think you've just got to give him
Sean Dyche. Are you kidding?
Fuck off. We don't want that fucker.
He just said Sean Dyche, did he?
There's a roll of the dice, you idiot. Got Dyche on the brain, you.
Well,
just
he's
looks like him.
Illegitimate father.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah, back to the actual question.
Kim Bandy's not a Marsh fan at all, is he?
Bandy's not having him. Not at all.
Sorry, just back to the question. Can Marsh turn it around? Yeah, absolutely for me.
Nice one, Bremner's Ghost. That's us not beating Fulham. He's completely jinxed us now. Well
done. So yeah, I mean, in a word, then can he turn it around, Jay?
I don't know. I hope so.
That's not a word.
I know it's not, but I can't.
It's a yes or no. Come on, Carl.
Maybe that's a word.
Smarty, can he turn it around?
I believe that he will. Yes.
Same.
I hope so.
I think it only takes a couple of results, and we know what the bandwagon's like. Then everybody will be loving Leeds again. All the fickleness will go. All the fickleness will go, and everyone will be loving, and they'll be stood outside waiting for the shirt signed by him and everything. And fucking.
I hope he does. I really
do. Change my name to Jonah's Ghost.
Yes, I really do.
For the rest of this podcast, you must change your name to Jonah's Ghost in the comments.
I wonder if we can do it. Can I do that?
Nice. No,
I don't think so. It's on YouTube. But no, right. I hope he can. I don't want to see him sacked. I think it'd be a bad move for the club.
Yeah, look, I don't think it's going to do anything. I don't want the 49ers. I've seen people saying it's fucking Radrizana's fault now that we've been playing shit, and it's just all that air of negativity just comes flying back as soon as we start playing a little bit of shit football. Then it disappears, funnily enough, when we're playing all right. Anyway, we'll have a quick word from the sponsors. I tell you what, this voiceover is fucking brilliant.
CBD are a family company with a local shop feel and exist to continue to promote the obvious and immediate benefits of CBD products while keeping the cost to you, the consumer, as low as possible. You'll find multiple flavours available on our site, answers to frequently asked questions and suggestions on what is right for you, as well as a web form for you to get in touch. There's free delivery on orders over £50, and don't forget to use the Orta No Better discount code of OKB10 for 10% discount of all products. Lastly, a portion of all profits will be donated to mental health charities.
Yes, they will. A portion will be, and I've got some big news to come out very soon as well, which I'm not going to share tonight, but I have got some big news about CBD in the company. So thanks to everybody who's retweeted and liked and bought stuff from CBD. I've got some decent news coming up. So, but yeah, let's move on. What sort of comes now? Is it then? Do we talk about Arsenal? I can't remember.
Yeah, we're looking forward to the next game.
Yeah, so coming up on Sunday, I will be feeling very sorry for myself, having had my operation on Friday. In case nobody heard, I'm having an operation.
That's what his big news is. His next is going to be called Lucinda from now on. Not Lou.
Lucinda, I like it. Just with a beard,
Christ.
and a hair transplant. Great nice hair and a big fuck off grey beard.
I reckon.
Turn up on Big Brother.
Nice.
I'll end up at Eurovision. Yeah, look, Arsenal. What a fucking horrible time to play Arsenal at home. We're struggling. Fans down a bit. Arsenal absolutely bouncing, playing really, really good stuff under Arteta. How do we see it going, Smarty, realistically, apart from fucking badly?
Come on, Smarty. Give us some positivity.
Into him, Smarty.
You've got to be careful, haven't you? You don't know who's listening. Don't want to destroy hopes and dreams for everyone so far. I've changed your name to Lucinda, by the way. I don't know if you've noticed. I think we'll probably get dicked on Sunday, but I'd like to, like I said before, I think Marsh recognises now that he's changing mind now. Watch, something's happening. I can see his brain fucking twirling away in the background. Yeah, I think. Oh dear. I'd like to see some change. I think he's recognised that changes need to be made, and that he might have missed a trick with the substitutions that he made on against Palace. Jimmy Neutron, it's fucking up. You've totally thrown me now because I was just waiting for this. What was I saying? Yeah. So yeah, I think that I'd like to think that we will go all guns blazing. I don't believe that Arsenal will play any sort of reserved kind of football that we've been used to seeing lately at Ellen Road, i.e., fucking Everton and Aston Villa. I think we'll need to be on our game. Hopefully, Llorente is still not starting. I hope Cooper has a better game. I'd like to see. Well, Marcia Firpo's injured again. Shock. So, striker.
Is he out for this one as well?
I have no idea. Oh. He's more biscuit than frigging Forshaw, isn't he? But that means Striker is probably going to play. We haven't really mentioned anything about Rasmus Christensen's effort against Mr. Zaha at the weekend. I thought he had a cracking game last weekend.
Yeah, best his play.
So definitely.
Yeah, he did well. He did really well.
He's coming into it. I mean, I don't know if you remember the interview he did the other week. I think it was with the Evening Post or something like that. And he said how difficult he's found the transition. How coming over here from wherever he was it Salzburg he played for before? Yeah. One of the Red Bulls, wasn't it? The Austrian League, wasn't it? It was the Austrian one. And is that Salzburg or is that the other one?
Salzburg, isn't it? Is it Leipzig or Salzburg?
No, Salzburg.
It was one of them. I can't remember.
Yeah. Anyway, he did an interview saying how difficult he found it, but he will get better and he will adjust and he will get it. And ever since he's done that interview, he's progressively got better for me. And I think that, good idea to bring it up actually, because I totally sort of overlooked that. But yeah, it was his best performance by some as well at the weekend. Yeah. Zaha is probably the quietest I've seen him all season. And
he came into it towards the end, but obviously, that's what
Ayling was on then.
Yeah. Well, so
Zaha's going to end up being the first player that ever gets a testimonial from a club he never wanted to play for. He's just spent his entire career hoping to get out of there. Got out once, got sent back, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. We've got Sinistera back this weekend as well. Obviously, Marsh isn't in the stands this weekend as well. We're unbeaten at home.
He's not in the stands.
He's not in the stand.
He's not back in the stands. He's
when
back,
is he?
Back on the touchline.
He's back on the touchline, I mean.
All right, sorry, yeah, of course.
I will with you, man.
Yeah, I fucking hell, he's I don't know, he's half cut, I don't know. I think I'm gonna be positive. I don't think we're gonna win. I'll be honest with you. I think we are going to get beaten, but I would expect a more positive game. I think it'll be better than that miserable shite we've been watching the last few games. So you never know. Stranger things have happened. We could get a result.
Well, look at the Chelsea game. They're the only team that have come to Ellen Road this season and tried playing a bit of football, and we destroyed them. We absolutely. I mean, they had the chances early on, but other than that, we absolutely played them off the park for probably 80 minutes of the 90. And I have a feeling that's our best form of defense is attack. So I think we prefer to play against teams like that who are going to come and have a go at you than teams who try and sort of slow the play, conduct the pace of the game. We almost have one set in and it's fucking very fast. And we don't like it when the game's slowed around us and it's managed and balls over the top and long ball. Brighton was one of them. Potter was playing a lot of direct football, and I don't think it suits us. I think we've got one style and one identity, Jay, and that is to play football very fast and very intense. And I think that will suit us playing against the better sides. The really better sides who sort of manage it will recognise that and beat us easily. Man City probably, and potentially Arsenal for me. But I think we much prefer to play against a side that want to have a go. And the first 25 minutes shows you that from the weekend. Palace weren't going to sit back on their own doorstep and try and sort of conduct the game. they wanted to have a go, and because of that, we looked a lot more threatening. When Vieira made the tweaks, we struggled. So yeah, go on then, Jay. How's it going to go this weekend?
It's going to be a complete Jekyll and Hyde performance. We're going to beat them 2-0. No one's going to know where it came from, and everyone's going to feel great again, and then we'll get beat next week.
We'll lose at Fulham.
Probably.
Yeah, that's very, very Leeds thing to do.
We always do get a result we don't expect.
Is that your prediction then, Jay? Is that you going 2-0?
Whoa,
we're not doing it. We're not doing that yet.
Are we not? All right. I'll come back to you.
We're going to do something a little bit. We're going to do something a little bit different, I think, tonight.
It's just like we're not experimenting.
No, we are
experimenting, are we? Are we?
We're not doing. No, listen.
This new format that we've got now.
We're not doing very well, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make up a new. I'm going to let somebody pick for me every week now because I'm doing shit. Right. I haven't decided who yet, so I'm going to say somebody's name.
Saying silly predictions.
And this week, the lucky winner is Jonathan Brook. Jonathan Brook, can you tell me a prediction for me this week? And if it comes in, I will buy you a pint.
Jonathan Brook, is he even watching? I haven't seen him come.
He is. He's just further up. Just further up. Anyway, and then for Jay, we're gonna ask somebody else to pick Jay's. I'm only kidding because Jay's doing all right, and you are smart. So we'll leave that to you.
I haven't scored any points for weeks, man.
Scored
7 points in the first 3 games.
I won't give prediction yet. We'll do it at the end of it. But
Jonathan Brook. No.
He's stuck with it.
Arsenal. Nice. Hey, you said it. You've gone 3-1 Arsenal. Fuck you.
You'll probably get some points there.
Do you know what? Bittersweet because if Leeds win, I'll be fucking buzzing. And if the Leeds lose, it's only a shitty predictions league. That means fuck all anyway.
Yeah.
Who do you think is going to start up front
predictions
against Arsenal, Luke?
Fuck you, Gilly. So yeah, lineups. In terms of lineups, we know how Arsenal are going to come out. We're going to have Jesus.
Jonah's Ghost here. We are 3-1 to Leeds.
There he is.
Nice.
Jonah's Ghost. So yeah, in terms of lineups, we obviously know that they are significantly better than us, man for man, on the field. You know, you look at every single player. The backup. Ben White will be back. Give him some shit probably.
I fucking hope we give him some. I will be anyway, prick.
I won't because I'll be on crutches, James.
Oh, speedy recovery and all that. I'll make sure that I ring you or send you a get well card.
Just to get well, not to get well soon. Just get well sometime.
Just get well at some point. You'll do all to get out of these podcasts.
So yeah, I mean, in terms of Arsenal, I was looking earlier at the last game. They beat Scum, was it? 3-2? Liverpool 3-2, sorry.
They are a former Scum, I suppose.
Yeah. So look, Arsenal, arguably the only team in the league who may challenge City. I don't think anybody will realistically challenge City, but I think Arsenal will be the probably the nearest thing to challenging them, shall we say? But they're playing some really nice stuff. Has anybody been watching them on Match of the Day and that? They're just playing some really nice football.
Yeah.
I've only seen bits.
And that prick Xhaka's fucking in some sort of form and all.
Playing really well.
He's playing really well.
Horrible little rat.
Prick.
Yeah.
He'll probably get carded. He usually gets carded against us, doesn't he? It's a shame we don't have
get a bet on him. Bet on him to be carded, both teams to score.
Oh no, that was Pepe, wasn't it? That used to wind up with Alioski because he used to call him Peppa Pig. He called him
Peppa Pig.
We're him that kept doing cat noises too.
No, that one. No.
That one it's swimming pool.
No, that other guy
with
his cat around. What's it? Fucking hell.
Zuma,
yeah. Kurt,
Harry.
We're missing,
right.
We've lost the chuffing plot, you two.
Yeah, we've lost it.
Shall I tell you my starting lineup? My
lineup. Still not really covered these lineups.
So I'm going Melier, Cooper, Cock, Rasmus, and Struijk at the back. I've got Rocker and Adams in the middle. I've got Harrison left wing. I've got Aronson right wing with Sinisterra playing just off Rodrigo up front.
Oof, I like it. But I think I prefer
I'd like to see
Sinisterra on the
Cine.
left
Yeah. All right. Okay.
and Harrison on the right. So they can cut in.
Whatever. He does play well on left as Harrison, though. But, I'd like to see Sinisterra set more central, just for the change. But
James?
it won't happen.
Little James, do you agree?
Little James.
Almost. I mean, I'm almost tempted to say stick Llorente instead of Cooper just to wind Gilly up, to be honest.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But
why does Gilly
think
think Llorente is so good? Or not so good, but better than what we've got.
He just thinks.
You mean better than Cock?
Shit. He just thinks Cock shit, and I don't know why, because he's had some decent games, but
he's all right.
Yeah, I think
he's been all right.
I mean, Cooper had a couple of nightmares at weekend, didn't he? But he's certainly not stepped over any balls and passed it to, put them through, put the opposition through to go. Oh, go on.
Do you know what? That's how I actually did my ACL, doing a step over.
Fucking hell.
This time I was playing in a charity football match for mental
health.
That's
it, you're stepping over a pot pie.
And I went. There was nobody near me. I thought there was an attacker coming for me, and I was playing centre back, and I stepped over the ball, and my leg just went.
Oh, nasty! Fucking hell!
Proper. You could hear it snap. Horrible.
Where is Bandy? Where are you from? Where is
Bandy? Who are you? Who are you? Make yourself known because you're very negative.
He is, isn't he? He's a bit of a negative Nigel.
It's
I don't know. There's no wrong with being a negative.
We need balance
Nigel.
on here. It's okay.
We do need that balance.
We do.
We've got Bandy.
I can't wait for you to go Marsh, a fish-eyed fool.
We might do at this rate. I think
he's a very handsome fish-eyed fool, though.
Oh, God. I think on the lineup, I think I'd probably go with.
Would you, Jay?
The same players now. But I probably would go for Harrison on the left and Sinisterra on the right. I think we'll get Bamford up top again.
I hope not.
I'd like to see Joffrey.
I like Bamford.
I don't think he will.
On there, but I think he will pick him.
I do like Bamford, but a 75% fit Bamford is not good enough for the Premier League for me.
Is he even 75%?
I don't think he is. I think he's about 60%.
Yeah.
That's my medical opinion.
60%.
Big in stature, me, mate. Don't need to worry about what else.
Yes.
Yeah. By the way, if anybody saw Jay going into a toilet in which station was it, Jay?
Oh, fuck knows.
Do you have to go to little urinals?
No,
when there's like a couple of little urinals next to big urinals, you go to them.
In Norwood Junction, Jay was trying to go in the toilet, and I went at the game with Jay. I just saw him trying to get in this toilet like a ravaging fool, just like trying outdoors and that, like a weirdo. And
trying to jack up in peace.
And I went behind him and went, "What are you doing?" He absolutely fucking shit himself. Bloody hell!
I think he's imagined that.
Oh no, ask Carl.
I think he's imagined it.
Anyway, back to the game lineups. I go with either one of you two. I don't think. Oh, you think Paddy will start though, little Jim? I think
he probably will. Yeah.
I think. I don't think Paddy will. I think he had his chance at the weekend, little Jim, and.
Nearly covered him.
And I think we'll go with Rodrigo up top, Aronson behind, and then I think we'll see Sinisterra and Harrison maybe right and left, little Jim.
I've switched off, mate.
Has he noticed?
I don't think so.
I've noticed everything.
What have you noticed?
My fucking name that you've changed. You daft twat.
Little Jim, Jimmy Neutron, and Lucinda. Lovely old job. What a lineup.
Oh, Bandy. Now it makes sense. You're from down south and you're fully. All right, so you've seen Don Revy's football. So now you're comparing Jesse Marsh to the very best. Do you know what I mean? Now it all makes sense.
Southern Softy. So is he from like Sheffield or Nottingham? That's south to us.
It is south, isn't it?
Don't know, but he's old, isn't he?
Anyway, then let's get on to. Listen, we've done the talk up. Let's get on. Has any of you got a pen to hand?
Ding.
Orta know better predictions.
Righto.
You've
I've already got mine. I've
Arsenal.
got 3-1 Arsenal.
I'm
Can I
gonna
just say, Luke has never ever backed against Leeds, so this is the first
Never,
time
ever.
this has ever happened, which is fantastic.
And I haven't even done it.
I know.
and
I've
when he
still
gets
not backed
points for
against
it, he'll be well happy.
He will.
I'd rather Leeds one. I'd rather lose points.
I'm going for 3-1 Leeds because I think we're going to have a
What a
freak
country.
result, but I don't think we'll keep a clean sheet.
You sound like you're from London.
Fucking London.
We're fucking landed, aren't we?
Who's got the fans prediction in there? I've seen a couple.
Let's have a look. Scroll back.
I'll let the host pick.
Right, we've got Alison agreeing with me. I love Alison, mate. Too many negatives. Correct, Alison. Too many J's of the world. The first
How
one we've
dare
got
you.
is Alison, but she did it last week. Bremner's Ghost does it all the time. I meant Arsenal. Let's see who's after that. Emmylou, 2-2.
There we go. How can you call me negative? I just picked a Leeds win, you bastard.
Hey, good point. Even though saying we've got no direction, we've got nothing, but we're going to be the second best club in the league.
We're going to have a freak result, I'm telling you. You've
James,
convinced
give
me,
me your
Luke,
one.
in this short time that Marsh knows what
Hey,
he's doing, and we've got a
I
philosophy.
am very convincing.
I've heard that about you.
Yes.
James,
Very persuasive.
I am a very
I'm going to go 1-1.
Fuck yeah.
In fact, no, I'm not. I'm going to go fucking 2-1 Leeds. Fuck it.
Come on, Smile. Good
Come on,
lad.
Leeds. Fucking into him.
Come on, you bastards.
Jonathan, it's fine, mate. I'm either getting points or Leeds win. Actually, either I'm getting points or Leeds are getting points, whether it's a point or 3. So either way, I might start doing it more often, to be fair.
Unless they draw, of course. No, but
I mean,
we'd still get a point, but you wouldn't. You'd be on minus
difficult
fucking
to
whatever
bet
it is.
against. Oh, my headset's gone. Sorry, boys.
We can still hear you, unfortunately.
Yeah, I can still hear
I'm
you
gonna get a
coming from
break
my
then.
computer.
My computer.
Jesus Christ.
Realistically,
I'll tell
I
you
do
what.
think we're going to get dicked, to be fair. I think we're probably going to lose about 3 or 4-0. But sometimes you just got to have a little tiny bit of positivity in life, don't you? A little
You have.
drip of positivity.
You have.
But yeah, I think we're going to get pumped. Yeah. I
Why
think
don't
we're
you
gonna get
bet
pumped.
that?
I'm quite scared.
So I don't want
But
to.
I'm-
I don't want to be bottom of our shitty league. Sorry, Gilly.
I'm quite scared, but I don't want to, I don't want to give up altogether. I'm going to keep hoping for little miracles.
Have we picked a fans prediction? Sorry.
Yeah, 2-2.
Yeah. 2-2 from Emmylou.
So that
Chica.
is pretty much everything we needed to do, but we must have at least a good 5 minutes of the Orta Bitter. What have we got going on Orta Bitter? We must have something. If we haven't, I've got a little something.
Can I just say, Jonah's Ghost has made a point here. We should get Bandy on the show, lads, because his PC setup is cracking. We have spoken about having a bit of a revolving B&C podcast where you wonderful people listening out there can come and join us for a few minutes. And we'll just boot you out when we're fed up with you, sort of thing. So if people
We wish we could do it to Jay every week, but
it's almost like
It's like clockwork, isn't it? I was just waiting for
Yeah,
him.
honestly.
Just waiting for him. Poor
Yeah,
lad, he wouldn't know what
sure.
to do with himself if I want here.
He's probably
Fuck you would.
kicking his dog-
Fuck you won't, mate. You'd be bored.
kicking his dog under the table.
What was the drive like down then, little Jim, with Carl? Even you drove over from Bradford to Leeds, expecting to have a fucking lift all the way to London, a few beers and that, and then he tells you you've got to drive.
No, I knew the day before. Well, a couple of days before that I'm going to have to drive. So, but
It'll
yeah,
have been
it were all right.
conspiracy theory to the fucking absolute iota, won't you?
How dare you?
You'll know
No,
about
I-
every single conspiracy theory.
No.
We're all gonna die of fucking AIDS, computer AIDS, and
Don't fucking start with all that.
we're all
It
idiots.
were a good
We're all
drive. It were a good
succumbing to
drive
the
down.
government and all that sort of shit.
Shut up, Smarty, for fuck's sake, man. It were a good drive down. It was sound. It were.
Apart from I had to sit with you.
Yeah, pretty much. We were rushing a bit, because it were a bit tight getting there in time for train and everything from where we parked. But yeah, we got sorted. We got there, stopped off, and made good time. Can't argue. Drive back were hard because I were fed up, I were tired, I were in a bad mood. But it's what it is, isn't it? It's away days sometimes. Rather go on train and get hammered, to be honest with you, but fuck it. Can't always do it.
How did you feel that Carl were taking your life into his hands by driving an illegal car?
I wish I'd never fucking mentioned this now. He didn't drive an illegal car. He didn't bloody drive it, did he? I drove mine.
All right, sorry. Oh, fucking hell.
For fuck's sake, man. Get with the
Like
program.
Like Noddy and Big Ears flying down.
No, I didn't. I left the roof up, so we're all right.
Fucking Noddy and Big Ears.
Like fucking step two and son.
That's you and Gilly.
Right then, on Orta No Bitters, have we got anything that we're really bitter about this week, Jay, other than you, everything?
I can't think of it off the top of my head, to be honest with you.
Smart A, have you got anything that you'd like to get off your chest?
I don't think so. I think I'm getting mellow in my old age.
Actually, I've got a small one.
Orta No Bitter!
We've heard that about you, Jay.
I was waiting for that one too.
Orta No Bitter!
Smells big, mate. Come on.
Anything does.
Orta No Bitter!
Nah, that's it.
Just let him speak.
All right, I've got my hands up.
No, I'm done. No, I'm done. It's gone. I've forgotten.
Fucking hell. It's like trying to argue with Mrs. No, I've said it.
No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it anymore. That's it. I'm not putting it
The
out.
difference is I won't remember it next week.
Come on, then, get it off your chest, you little Jim. Quick.
No, I'm done. I've not to say now.
Come on, little Jim.
No.
Come on.
Give you a little
Jim.
rant.
No.
Come on, get it off your little Jimmy chest.
No, because we all know, Luke, as soon as I start fucking doing it, you'll do it again. Because that's who
I
you are.
Promised it won't.
My hands are yellow.
Knobhead. So before that game, I'm watching him because he can't fucking help it. He wants to. On the way down there, the one of the news article sites had a fucking thing where the headline was basically "Boost for Palace" as referee named for Leeds game. Boost for Palace. Fucking Tierney won it, and they'd not lost with him as ref since 2017. And he hates us anyway. Why do these refs keep getting put in these games with these fucking records attached to them? And no one thinks, that's a bit
something
strange,
fishy going on here.
That's a bit suspect. Why does this keep happening? We keep getting dickhead refs who either fucking hate us or can't do the job properly week after week, and no one seems to regulate this or do anything about it. And that whole thing with the VAR and the refs talking, that's gone out the window, hasn't it? That was announced that it was happening, and it never happened, and no one said anything about it since. I'm just a bit fucked off with it all.
I don't remember the ref being that bad at the weekend. I could be wrong, but I was pretty pissed. Was he that bad?
It wasn't great. I don't think it wasn't anything like against Villa. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't like that. It's just the fact that before the game even happened, there's this record attached to him. The result again went their way. The fucking news sites are saying, "Oh, it's a boost for them that they've got him as ref again." You know, it's just all a bit weird, isn't it? Stuff like that shouldn't be happening. It shouldn't be able.
Who's reffing the game against Chelsea, Arsenal?
I'm not sure. I'll have to have a look.
Have a look.
I'll find out.
In the old
But yeah, it's just weird shit like that. And then if we don't get somebody with a fucking bias one way or the other, we get somebody who's inept. And it's not meant to be like that at this level. This is meant to be the best league in the world. Why do we not have the best officials?
It goes back to that consistency thing again, doesn't it? I mean, did you see that handball shout with Arsenal and Liverpool?
No, it was
Rashford,
wasn't it?
Eh?
Did you see Rashford's as well?
No, I've not seen that.
Scum.
But I saw the Arsenal Liverpool one. It was just fucking ridiculous. Apparently, it was in a natural position, but it was literally at fucking 90 degrees to his body. I just think, the fuck. The thing is, I mean, we've gone over this like it's literally the hottest topic in the world, isn't it? You know, with football fans, it doesn't matter what team you follow.
Yeah, correct.
It's just until they get some sort of until it's regulated properly, you know, it's just an absolute fucking shambles. It's inconsistent. It's open to interpretation. It's just an absolute fucking bag of shit. The referees are. Do you know what? Who were I watching the other day in Championship? It were Burnley, and I can't remember who they were playing against, and I was watching it, and I actually said to my uncle, I was sat there watching AFL highlights with him, and I said, it's actually nice to see linesmen sticking their flags up and to see referee actually making some referee decisions rather than fucking, you know, let wankers in, you know, Thingy Park, whatever it's called, Stockley Park or whatever it is, making some decisions that are all fucking bullshit. They're actually there on time. He's offside. Oh, yeah, that's definitely a penalty. And that there'd been no comeuppance, there'd be no dickheads running around saying check your screens and all that sort of stuff. It was given. It was the right decision and they were given. And I miss that now. We were all pining for VAR and stuff when we were in Championship, thinking, oh, his problems will be solved because we used to get wanker refs in Championship, but it's fucking worse. The Premier League's an absolute bag of shit, innit?
It is. Just on that thing about the linos as well, Smarty, you know, when they just let the play go on and then they only put the flag up if there's a goal or something or whatever. What's going to happen when, like, they continue like that and because they didn't put the flag up, play continues and someone gets seriously injured? What's going to happen then? Because what do you think City would say if Haaland got his leg broken?
To be honest,
you what?
I think that's what's happened to Forshaw. Somebody just put the linesman flag up like every week. Every week for the last 3 years.
Fucking.
I know what you're saying, Jay. But it'll happen, and then at some point, it's like, you know, the handball rule. The first time we were in the Premier League, and I think it was against Liverpool, and Koch got.
It was Palace.
No, the first game.
There was one against Liverpool.
The first game of the season against Liverpool, we gave him 2 penalties, and they were both bullshit.
Right,
and one more for an handball, and it was ball to hand, and his fucking hand down, it hit him. So
it was one that wouldn't have been given a couple of months later.
Literally weeks later, they changed the rules, so that'll happen. One of our players will get seriously injured. You know, someone will snap him at, like, you know, Dallas got snapped, and then 3 weeks later down the line they'll change the rule again because that is genuinely what happens to us.
That's right.
Similar to the rule change as well for the offside when Bamford was flagged for offside against Palace earlier on in the season, wasn't it? And then they changed the rule the following week and it wouldn't have been classed as fucking offside. Don't just change the rule midway through the season because it's not working. Fucking change it at a certain stage, you know what I mean?
Review it, talk about it properly. Let's have a look at it, you know, and do this shit properly. It's like they were checking VAR against Eze's goal for offside. It went onside. You could see without your fucking stupid little lines and all that sort of stuff. They were literally hand in hand next to each other. You could. They were looking at the hands. The shoulders were in line. Everything were in line. I think one hand was slightly further over. And it's like it's onside. It's onside. Why are we having to fucking review this shit?
It's ridiculous.
This is a great point. Refs are frightened to fuck too much ego. The sooner they'll down just want to accept their mistakes, the better, rather than trying to find ways to justify inept decisions, the better. Look, they need to be held accountable. Need to be held accountable.
Yeah, but they cover each other. It's like that's why it takes them 19 fucking years because some dickhead will have made a shit decision on pitch and they'll have gone, fuck, how are we going to get him out of this one? Yeah. Because he's made a right howler here. And we can't.
It's true, that's why.
When we should be able to intervene, we can't intervene because this dickhead's way play on when it actually, it was a foul or it were, you know, it should have been carded or whatever. You know, like that fuck, I can't remember that got bloody yellow carded for stamping on Adams. He did it again. You know, there should have been fucking red cards galore against Palace at weekend. We're seeing it time and time again. You know, we go back to the Aston Villa game when Rodrigo was taken out in box. He had a shoulder into him and it sent him fucking flying. Literally 3 minutes later, they give a free kick for exactly the same and not as bad. Outside the box, they give him a free kick. It's like, where's the fucking consistency? It's exactly the same challenge. Except that one were in the fucking box and one's in, you know, halfway line and 18-yard box. Yet that one were given and the one for a penalty shot wasn't given.
That's always been a thing as well, hasn't it? That's for years. There's been a thing where they'll give stuff further up the field, but they won't give it in the box because it'll be a penalty.
Yeah, we can talk about the stuff that come on. It's the same stuff every week, and until we're going to continue to have the same conversations, aren't we? But yeah, look, it's a good way to end the show on the Orta No Bitter. Just one more thing I just want to shout out before we do go. for anybody who wants to have a look, there's a website called The Eddie Gray Story. That's just been, I don't know how long the website's been live, but they're making a documentary effectively about Eddie Gray. It's going to be called No Footprints in the Snow, and it's set for completion by summer 2023. That'd be fucking clever if they could do it fucking 8 years ago, 12 years ago, whatever it is. So just going to be a documentary that will tell Eddie's life story and include exclusive interviews with family, friends, football legends, as well as rare and archive footage and material, all with Eddie, Mr. Leeds United, Gray at the centre. So yeah, have a look at that. I think they're doing a bit of crowdfunding to help pay for it. It's getting filmed. I don't know how they're doing it, but I just got it in a separate group. So I thought I'd give them a quick shout out. That's theeddiegraystory.com is the website. If anyone wants to go and have a look at that, we'll pop that on the socials and share it as well in a short while.
Very nice.
I just like to say thanks for those that joined us on Wednesday for the Brian McDermott interview, which is still available to view and to listen to and all that sort of stuff. Brian was on. We had some very, very positive feedback for that one. So, and it really, we all enjoyed. Well, I say we all. Sorry, Jay. Me and Luke enjoyed it. No, it was great. I think you watched it. Did you, Jay?
Yeah, it was very good, lads. You did well.
So it was great. So if you haven't seen it, then do, because it's a cracking
good positive story out the back of that. Actually, aren't you smarty to tell quickly? But I mean, maybe don't give any names out, but just tell.
Someone who works in the prison service got in touch with us and asked if Brian would be open to go and speak to them and do a talk and talk to inmates and stuff. And Brian were absolutely all over it. So, like I said, it's
So if you want to meet Brian, get locked up and get sent to prison.
Yeah. You never know; it might pop up. You might strike it lucky. You might get locked up in prison. But no, don't do that.
Brilliant.
We're not all about that. But
Great work.
Thanks everyone for positive feedback for that one. It was great.
Yeah, smashing. Well done, everybody, and thanks everybody for joining us this week. Please do continue to follow, subscribe, share it with your scum fan mates and family, and
who have nothing better to do on a Tuesday.
Thanks ever so much for joining us. Little Jimmy Neutron, always a pleasure, never a chore. We will see you on Sunday following Arsenal for a B and C. It'll likely be me because I'll be laid up in bed-ish. So, in case you didn't wonder, I want a little bit of sympathy, but I ain't had any in the comments.
Soft bastard.
Fuck it, I'll live.
B and C in a full body cast. You might get a bit then.